Robert Haley stars as Charlie McMahon in Something in the Air.
Okay, it's coming. Be right with you. Here you go, Louie. Now turn it down for a bit, will you? Sorry, just feeding my cat. What can I do for Mrs. Parker?
Hello, Mr. McMahon. I'm sorry I've come so close to closing, but...
No, not at all. How are things at the church?
Settling in nicely. The new pastor is a good man, steady as a rock.
Yeah, I heard.
So, you must be surprised to see me.
Oh, no, it's just that... Well, I guess I am.
Yes, I've got to admit that I was surprised to find myself coming to see you as well, but... There is something troubling me, and I have to talk to somebody, and you solved the murder of the Reverend, so...
Of course. I was just making some tea. Would you care to...
Oh, no, I couldn't.
No, it's no trouble at all. The kitchen's right through here.
Well, now, look at that old fellow.
Yep. 20 next month.
Isn't that something? To have a cat that long. I would never in a million years have thought of you as a cat person.
To tell you the truth, Louise is really my wife's cat.
You're married?
You sound surprised.
Most married men of my acquaintance don't live at the back of their shop. At least not in Canada.
No, I moved in here after my wife passed on.
You lost your wife?
A year ago. Cancer.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Anyway, what are you taking your tea?
A little milk and lots of sugar.
Sugar. I hope it's not too strong.
Just right.
Good. So, what can I do for you, Miss Parker?
I'm not really sure, but I felt I had nowhere else to go. It's about a little girl.
A little girl?
She used to come to the church every day, like clockwork. Just sit in the back and look at the altar like some do. And then one day, she wasn't there. I got worried.
I see. Did you try to contact her parents?
I don't even know her name.
Well, how old is she?
13, perhaps 14.
Then she's probably going to Parliament Collegiate.
No, you see, Mr. McMahon, I believe the girl was a prostitute. And I believe that she was murdered.
Betty said you couldn't do anything to help.
After she talked to me about the girl, I did what I could to get her off the track, but... Bunny, that's her name, was one of 24 girls hangs out at that corner. She didn't have the problems some of them have.
You talked to anybody after she disappeared?
Missing persons, vice. No one made it a priority. Girls come and go all the time.
Damn.
Malcolm, what is with that irritating music?
Real audio. It's a techno feed I'm downloading out of Detroit. Radman 12?
Radman? Switch to Mr. Muffler for a while, will you? I can't hear myself think.
Sorry.
So, you talked to missing persons, but they didn't take an interest?
They did it by the book. Questioned her friends, her pimp. He said she was a street kid he tried to help find a place to stay. Figured she'd decide to go home.
And he was happy to see his meal ticket take a hike, right?
Her roommate had the same story to tell.
Of all the stupid...
Did they give you an address?
An address? They claimed all they knew was her street handle.
Bunny.
Yeah.
Damn!
What?
Oh, more of the same. My latest little chore is to take all the arrest records from Station 15 off this old mag tape and transfer them to digital format. And the only way to do that is to... Never mind, it's technical. Boring.
Come on, what's the problem, Malcolm?
The whole system freezes every time I try to get past this one file. It's a rap sheet on someone called Mary Lou Douglas.
Mary Lou Douglas?
That's right. What's so funny?
Malcolm, I think you just met the ghost of Station 15.
So you're saying the ghost of this old hooker haunts Station 15, and she takes an interest in the cases?
Feel her presence?
I don't think so, duh.
I don't know. There's something peaceful up here. But it's hard to put your finger on. It's like something in the air.
Mary Lou Douglas. She was from Fogo, Newfoundland, and never let you forget it. The mouth on that woman. She'd make a sailor blush.
And so, like, you guys adopted her or something?
It's more like she adopted us. She'd get a night in lockup every week.
For soliciting?
A drunken disorderly, as often as not. I wasn't sure if she was a prostitute because she was an alcoholic, or if she was an alcoholic because she was a prostitute. There was something about her. I don't know, we all tried to take care of her. Okay, and this goes no further than this rooftop. Mary Lou had a thing for S.I. McPhee.
S.I. McPhee and a local hooker.
There was talk, but he denied it. Said they were just good friends.
And you believed him?
To tell you the truth, I did. Although at the time I was in the minority.
What happened to her?
Liver gave out. 1 week she was fine, a month later she was gone. In her will, she asked Kirk to scatter her ashes at Station 15. Said it was the closest thing she had to a home.
You're kidding.
I know, but it's true. One day Kirk shows up with his box full of ashes, and we all slip up here to give her a proper send-off.
Right here on the roof.
That's right. We figured, scatter her to the winds. What we didn't take into account was the hot tar.
The tar?
It was mid-August. Heat wave, not a breath of a breeze. We scattered her, and she just kind of fluttered down to the roof and...
Stuck around?
It was the first of a series of cosmic jokes. Kirk was really upset, but what could we do? We scattered some loose gravel around, went out for a drink, and didn't think much more of it. Until she started to take an interest in our work.
Ooh, here comes the scary part.
The first time was about a year after she died. A certain other lady of the night was busted for stabbing her pimp. It looked like an open and shut case, but...
But?
I know this is crazy, but it happened. Files started showing up on Kirk's desk. Turned out the pimp was hooked on the ponies. The man who killed him was a loan shark.
Mary Lou pulled the files?
I don't know, Malcolm. All I know is that from the time she died till I left the job, whenever we had a case involving working girls, things happened. Things I couldn't explain then or now. So boo.
What do we do about it?
Go see Kirk.
Mary Lou, eh?
That's right, Kirk.
You tell the rookies the story?
Some of it.
Her and me? That part of it?
I told him about the talk. I told him that's all it was.
That's good, because that's all it was.
Like I said.
I mean, I got to know her. Working vice, right? Liked her, tried to help, but that was it. No matter what got said.
I know.
Because the motto of the force is serve and protect, right? And if anybody needed protection...
Hey, Kirk, you don't have to convince me. You never did.
Sorry. It's just that I'm trying to climb up the ladder here. A year from now, deputy chief. 5 years after that...
I know all about your ambitions.
And what's an old rumor about a long-dead hooker going to do to them? I mean, there's still enough guys around, remember, and if word gets out Mary Lou is working another case, a homicide...
Yeah, I know. But, Kirk, she is.
But we don't have to mention anything about that, do we? Or run the voodoo down for the rookies.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just make sure they keep their mouths shut, okay?
Sure.
The missing kid's street name is Bunny?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't open an official homicide investigation without something to go on.
Well, there's Mary Lou.
That's right, there's Mary Lou. So you've got to look into it for me.
Only if I can get some unofficial reassurance from the department.
You got it. But we'll keep Vice and Mary Lou out of the mix until you come up with something, okay? You'll work through Jolene and Fieldstein like usual, eh?
Yeah, like usual. As if there was anything usual about Mary Lou.
The poor little thing always came in when I was cleaning up. So I took to saying hello. She was shy, but she opened up over time.
Did you ever talk about where she was from?
No, and when I asked about her family, I got the sure feeling it wasn't a good home. One thing, though, she had an accent.
She was from the islands?
No, a real accent, like Mrs. Rodenizer at the Halifax fish store over on Parliament. You know, the funny way they talk from down east.
Did you tell the investigating officers about it?
They didn't write down a word I said.
When did you decide she was working the street?
The day her pimp came in here and lured her away from me.
How'd he do that?
He comes in, looking mad. You know the type? All Nike this and Tommy that. Gold chains, big rings. But then he kisses her real sweetly and takes this medallion thing he's got round his neck and puts it on her and takes her hand and they walk out like young lovers in some movie. It made my skin crawl. After that, I just saw her on the corner, plying her trade. Then came the day I didn't see her anymore.
Sharona Goodwin. Must be around 19. She's been working this part of the track for, I don't know, at least 4 years.
Any convictions?
Juvie court. She's from Nova Scotia. Made a bit of a splash first time she was busted. There was this whole ring of pimps working out of Preston, taking girls off the streets in Halifax, shipping them up here. They're a lot easier to control when they're a long way from home.
So what happened to Sharona?
They sent her home to NS. 6 weeks later, she was back on the stroll. Second time they picked her up, Mom and Dad didn't want her back. Foster homes, it didn't take, and she found herself a smarter pimp. He had her working out of an apartment on Wellesley for the best part of a year. He didn't put her back on the street till she turned 18. Oh, that's her, with the purple pants and the gold chains.
She's 19?
Yeah.
Bloom's kind of off the rose, huh?
She's been on the pipe the whole time I've known her. Hey, Sharona.
What do you want, Ray?
I got somebody here who wants to talk to you.
I'm working, in case you didn't notice.
You get in the car, or I'm opening up that bag of yours and taking what I find.
Well, excuse me for living. Who are you? New Boston Vice or what?
This is Charlie McMahon. He wants to ask you about Bunny.
I already told you all I know about Bunny. She said she was going home, packed her bags, and left. That's it.
You got any idea where home might be?
She never said. Used to talk about Detroit sometimes.
Funny. Never heard anybody from Detroit say oot in a boot like you and Bunny.
So, what does that prove?
You know her back home, Sharona?
We shared an apartment in Toronto. She was a real pig, too, never cleaned up. I was happy when she was telling me she was going.
Well, how'd you two end up sharing a place?
We got mutual friends.
Mutual friends? Meaning Jerry Smith, right?
Why do you have to bring Jeremiah into this?
Because he's your pimp.
Jeremiah ain't no pimp.
Funny. That's what it says on his rap sheet, among other things.
Jeremiah is my boyfriend, and he takes care of me. That don't make him a pimp.
Whatever you say. Is he taking care of Bunny, too?
He never was.
That's not what he told the investigating officers.
The way Jeremiah sees it, the man's going to believe what the man's going to believe. No use arguing.
Yeah, well, that's too bad, because the way you tell it, he misled a police officer in the course of an investigation.
I didn't say that.
Well, that's what I heard. Didn't you, Jolene?
Chapter and verse. It's a felony. Guess we'll have to call you in to testify.
Look, just leave him alone. He doesn't know nothing about Bunny Taylor.
Bunny Taylor. A second name. That's a start.
Well, I started with missing persons, right? But there was nothing there. So we go through a process of elimination. There are 25 Taylors listed in the Lake Echo Exchange, which includes Preston, West Preston, Upper, Lower, and Middle Preston, plus just before Preston on the left where you turn off Route 7.
20 numbers. That shouldn't take long.
If their parents live in Preston, and if they're in the book under the name Taylor, and if they pick up the phone. So I've been running some cross-checks. Birth records for Halifax County between 1982 and 87. Given the girl's age, she's in there somewhere. I've got 8 hits for Taylor, female. Only one with the Preston postal code. Albert Taylor, West Preston. Here's his phone number.
You want to make the call?
Hello, Mr. Taylor? A ghost told us your daughter Bunny may be in trouble. I don't think so.
I've got it. Can the music, okay, Malcolm?
I could go to cbc.ca. It's Organ Wednesdays.
Silence will be fine. Hello, Mr. Taylor?
Mary Lou and me, we used to come up here some nights, you know, after we'd process her. Geez, that woman could make me laugh.
Yeah. The good old days, huh?
Seemed like it at the time. What do you have?
Bunny is really Catherine Marie Taylor. She ran away about 8 months ago.
And they didn't report it.
Jolene said from the sound of the party going on, they weren't the type to notice.
They haven't heard from her?
Nope. Catherine didn't call home once.
Good old Mary Lou. You know, she always took a special interest in girls from the coast. We gots to stick together, my son. You remember that voice she put on? If we don't, who's going to keep Harry Hibbs on the airwaves?
Yeah, she was something. So next I want to talk to the pimp.
Jeremiah Smith?
Yeah, see if I can loosen him up.
Fine, but be careful. He's little, but he's mean. Besides, you don't have a badge.
Yeah, I can still handle myself in a pinch.
Me too, but it takes so long to heal.
I've missed it.
What?
The job, the juice, your jokes, a lot of things. You know, you lose something, you put it behind you and go on. But it's still there inside, isn't it?
Sure. Like Mary Lou. Up here on the roof.
Yeah, I'm coming. What the hell is... Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, Charlie McMahon. I want to talk to you about Bunny Taylor.
You're the guy from Vice. Sharona told me. Come on in. I was scrambling some eggs. Interested?
No, thanks.
So, you find out anything about Bunny?
We talked to her family. She didn't go home.
I was afraid of that. These girls, you try and take care of them, but sometimes they just go wild.
Yeah, sometimes you got no choice but lock them up, get them hooked on crack, just so they're not a danger to themselves.
You got me wrong. I got no time for the pipe, and I don't let anybody into my home who uses.
So your girlfriend doesn't get to drop by very often?
My girlfriend?
Sharona?
That what she tell you? I tried to get that girl straight for 5 years. Kept her off the street for about a year once, when she was 16. But it didn't take. She's out there again and nothing I can do about it.
Except take the money she gives you.
Nah, you can't expect me to be talking about my personal business with a police officer, can you?
Retired police officer.
But Sharona said you was Vice. Oh, whatever, you're not a cop. Why you here bugging me?
A friend of Bunny's asked me to look into her disappearance.
Bunny didn't have no friends.
You're wrong.
You're talking about that pushy church lady, aren't you?
She didn't much like the way you took advantage.
She's a nosy old bag. Got nothing in her life but rearranging dying flowers. Before Bunny split, I was planning to let her move in with me. You gotta be pretty special to get that kind of attention.
So it was love?
I guess. Had to get her out of that crackhole's apartment before she got wasted, too.
Oh, that's no way to talk about your main squeeze, is it, Jerry?
My main squeeze? Sharona's a stone junkie. Gonna be dead before she's 22, and I got no time for that, even from a business associate.
That's cold.
That's reality. Now, seeing you ain't a cop, get the hell out of my crib.
I read your rap sheet, Jerry. You got an assault charge, put you away for a deuce in '95.
You got no right looking at my rap sheet.
Well, I got friends in high places. They asked me to look at your rap sheet, thought it might be relevant.
To what?
You took a girl, she was 16, and you sliced off one of her ears. Said she wasn't listening to you.
Get out of here.
Is that the problem with Bunny? She stopped listening.
I'm not going to say it again.
I'll tell you what I think. I think she told Sharona about going home. Sharona told you, and you stopped her. Permanently.
You shut up about that girl.
Does it make you nervous talking about her?
No.
You close your eyes, you see her?
I loved her.
Sure you did. Where'd you dump her, the ravine? A shallow grave down in the spit? She's looking bad, Jerry.
Shut up.
You ever see a body in an advanced state of decomposition? The hair and the fingernails keep growing. The insects, the maggots.
Shut up!
You sit still now and let this mercurochrome do its job.
I'm fine.
You're fine. I think maybe you need stitches. Just lucky I decided to come by and bring you something decent to eat for a change.
I wouldn't have let you in if I thought you were going to...
Take care of you? Typical man. Going off and getting yourself all messed up. And for what?
Ow. I was trying to get him mad enough to make a mistake. Maybe say something about Bunny.
And did he?
Oh, he said plenty. Just he said it with his fists. Ow.
Something bad happened to that girl, didn't it?
For sure. Hey, Kirk, what are you doing up here?
Oh, figured I'd drop in, see the computer kid, find out if there was any developments in the case. And since I was here, okay, I'm communing, right?
Well, I hope Mary Lou's got something, because all I got to show for my recent endeavors is this black eye.
That skinny little pimp do that to you?
No, I ran into a door. It was a weird interview, Kirk. He claimed he loved her.
Yeah, right.
No, it was... He was fine, cool as a cucumber, until I started ragging him about how she must look. You know, dumped in a field, shallow grave, all that routine. He went right off the deep end.
Once I had to bust Mary Lou. You remember when we were knocking over the massage parlors on Young Street?
Yeah?
Yeah. And I got to bad-mouthing her pimp. And she comes back, he was protecting me. I gave her a look, and she says, the problem with you, McPhee, is you think love can pick sides.
Words of wisdom?
Maybe. Who knows?
No, her hair's longer now and straighter, with blonde highlights.
Mrs. Parker, what brings you down here?
She's helping me lose the music, right?
No, that's okay. I got no beef against modern jazz. What's up?
I've been in touch with the Halifax police. Her parents had an old photo. HPD scanned it, and there it is. Cute kid, huh? Now I'm running Identa software to simulate how she'd look today. Not that I'm a specialist, but Mrs. Parker's helping out. And here's Bunny at 15 with long, straight hair and highlights. How's that, Mrs. P?
Getting close. One more thing, though.
What's that?
She always wore this big gold medallion. She loved that thing.
She wore a chain.
It was on a chain, yeah, but it was a big, clunky thing.
Well, they call them chains. Hip-hop culture, it's a big thing. Here, let me show you. Should have a selection to choose from at puffysports.com. Just take a second. Once we're done with this photo, we can get it out on the street, see what we turn up. And there we are. Any of these tasteless accoutrements ring a bell?
It was very much like the one on the right.
Like that one?
That's correct.
Bingo.
She told you what?
Sharona Goodwin told the officer in charge that you gave her a chain that has been identified as belonging to the missing girl.
That's crap. I didn't give her anything.
Then maybe you can explain to us where Miss Goodwin got the piece.
I never even seen her with it on.
Look, Jeremiah, that hunk of trash is down at forensics right now. And we've got pictures of Bunny all over town, on the net, and in the hands of every police officer in the 905 region. We're going to start picking up leads now. Lots of them. And if we find a body, this whole thing is going to come right down on you.
I didn't do anything to Bunny. I loved her.
Yeah, it was a match made in heaven. You think about what I've said, and when I come back, I want to hear a story I can believe.
Damn. I get my hands on that hole and hell.
So, what do you think?
Well, I like to watch him sweat, but
But?
he's got no story. A man with a rap sheet like Smith always has a story.
So what are you saying?
Something's not right.
Why?
Because he's behaving like a human being. Let's get the girl in here.
By now she must be feeling pretty much desperate for a pipe.
Right, she won't be at the top of her game.
Makes sense.
How about you let Jolene take a run at her?
Why not?
I'll give it a try, but I'm not even sure where to start.
Well, Jeremiah says love. So why don't you try jealousy?
Hi, Sharona. How you feeling?
How does it look like I'm feeling?
Like you're pretty sick.
I've been sicker. I saw Jeremiah in the corridor.
Yeah, I know.
What'd you say to him? Because he gave me a look that froze my heart.
You told him about you having Bunny's chain.
I told you, that's my chain. He gave it to me.
He says that's a lie.
I don't believe you. What do you really say?
He told us he was moving Bunny in with him. They're really in love, Sharona.
That's a lie.
Not according to Jeremiah. And if you don't believe me, we got it all on tape.
I don't want to hear no tape full of lies.
Fine, then. Why don't you tell me the truth? What did he do to Bunny?
He didn't do nothing to Bunny.
But you said he was a liar.
He is. But he's innocent, too.
How do you know that? He's got a history of assaulting his girls. Goes back forever.
He whooped me once or twice, too, but only because I deserved it. No big deal.
You're wrong. It's a very big deal. With his record, and giving you her jewelry, and you calling him a liar...
You haven't even found her yet.
It doesn't matter. Take this to a jury. They aren't going to need a body. They're going to put him away for a long, long time.
But he's innocent.
Fine. Prove it to me.
I can't explain.
Explain what? Explain why he did it? We know why he did it, Sharona. Because she was trying to get away.
That's not true.
No? Works for me. Probably work for a jury, too.
She wasn't going away. She was moving in with him.
You gotta keep your story straight. You said she was going home.
I lied.
Why? To protect him? Because it's not gonna work.
No! I lied because I killed her.
Why?
I love him and she was stealing him away. I had to do something.
Where's the body?
I put her up on the roof, over my apartment building, in a garbage bag. Nobody ever goes up there. Never.
And you told Jeremiah she ran away. But why'd you take the chain?
It was mine. Till he took it and gave it to her.
He didn't say anything when he saw you wearing it again?
You think I'm crazy? I hid it when he came around.
You hid it.
You find out what I did, you'd been real mad. Bunny, she was his top earner. Way better than me.
You have been listening to Something in the Air. This week's episode of our series, The Old Guy by Paul LeDoux. Featured in the cast tonight, Robert Haley as Charlie McMahon, William Colgate as Kirk, Ryan Rogerson as Malcolm, Karen Glave as Jolene. With them, you also heard Arlene Duncan as Betty Parker, Anthony McLean as Jeremiah Smith, and Michelle Moffat as Sharona Goodwin. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kymlick. The recording engineer was Wayne Richards. Sound effects were by Matt Wilcott. Colleen Woods was the associate producer. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. The program was produced and directed in Toronto by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening and inviting your comments. See you next week.